Does it feel like your money and retirement is in danger? With prices still elevated, high interest rates, and the mounting national debt, the present and future purchasing power and cost of living of everyday Americans is more and more uncertain. All the while, central banks around the world are reducing their dollar reserves and buying gold in record amounts not seen in history. Do they see something we don't? Are we seeing the beginning cracks and breaks within an overly leveraged fiat system? And what can we, ordinary Americans, do about it? How do nations actually go bankrupt? To paraphrase Ernest Hemingway, at first you go bankrupt slowly and then all at once. If you think that you may be falling short of your retirement goals, see the link in the video description to the free inflation and retirement calculator. To shed light on this present economic environment, we will hear from economist, White House advisor, and author Jim Rickards, economist and investor Keith Weiner, and CEO of Shapeshift, Erik Voorhees.
The Orwellian nanny state is alive and well, and fiat currency is one of its most insidious tentacles. Fiat has these poor monetary attributes because it is a tool and appendage of the state. It exists to serve the state, not to exist market participants. Its attributes as money are intentionally constrained and inferior so as to siphon wealth to the state through debasement and to surveil and control the behavior of the king's subjects. Remember that fiat means value by decree, not by merit. Fiat now persists solely on the momentum of tradition. The older generations may cling to it for quite some time, but they and their ways are dying, and their wealth decays in front of them, debased openly by the very people they worship, salute, and vote into office. Someday, school children will laugh and joke with each other as they learn about the silly flag paper with cultish incantations inscribed on it. In yet another of history's examples of mass delusion, people thought to be valuable. Or maybe they won't laugh and joke because they will have learned how much destruction it actually caused. Maybe fiat will be looked at more like medieval bloodlettering, a dark symptom of human ignorance that is so obviously foolish in hindsight.
We're so awash in propaganda from the time we're two that, if you go to Google Images or Bing Images and you search for money, you get page after page after page of pictures of paper with green ink on it. That's what people think money looks like. You don't get gold coins or gold bars, you get that. So in this world of propaganda, it's not obvious and not easy to see what you require of your monetary, good, your monetary substance. Most people just kind of accept that, the dollar is money, the dollar's fine. Well, yeah, there's inflation, but, I'm sure the Fed will figure it out. We'll muddle through. We always do. And boy, they're putting a lot of faith in something that doesn't deserve it.
The PhDs and the central bankers, they would like a fiat money standard because they control it. You can't control gold. You've got to go dig it up and mine it, and it's a costly process. And there's always enough gold. It's just a question of price. Growth, default, and inflation are the three ways out of debt. Well, there's no reason to default. Why would you? If you can print the money, why would you default? Just print the money. So we end up with inflation as the answer. Fine, I can't control the world, but I can control my own portfolio. And converting central bank money, which goes by the name of dollars or euros, into gold is a way, in my view, to preserve wealth. Now, as far as a gold standard is concerned, there's not a central bank in the world that wants a gold standard. You can be certain of that. My question is, are you at some point forced to go to a gold standard, not because you want to, but because you have to restore confidence in some kind of, collapse of confidence or systemic crisis, probably much worse than we saw in 2008? And the answer is you might. You might have to do it just to put a lid on things if you don't reform the international monetary system sooner. So we're stuck in this weak growth cycle. We're seeing lost confidence in central bank money, and that's part of what's driving the price of gold higher. Even if central banks don't want a gold standard, you can go on a personal gold standard. You can personally protect your wealth by buying some gold, putting it in safe storage for yourself. You don't have to wait for a central bank gold standard. You can go on a personal gold standard.
And of course, the gold standard worked for a long time, so we have historical proof of this. Virtually all the gold ever mined in human history is still in human hands. So I looked back in the historical records to see just how much gold did they have in London at the peak when London ran the world's commerce and the world's monetary system in the mid to late 1890s. That amount was 160 tons of gold. That's it. To put that in perspective, gold mining in the state of Nevada today is 166 tons. We produce more in one state in the United States than London had when it ran the world. So there's no problem with quantity. We need an efficient credit mechanism that allows trade to clear. And they had that in 1890. But if we're going to return to the gold standard, it's not the gold that's going to come and go. It's the credit based on gold that's going to come and go. And the credit can expand and contract, with the demand. Unlike today, when credit expands with the dollar, it can't contract because there's no extinguisher in the gold standard. The credit can be extinguished just as easily as it was created. It wasn't a problem in the 1890s. I don't think it would be a problem again.
How do you hedge against an ever-depreciating fiat dollar? Own the opposite. Sound money. Sound money is built with assets that have scarcity, a long track record of trust and value, and cannot be printed by central banks. Policymakers, institutions, and governments may decide the fate of our currency. It's our responsibility to safeguard the wealth we have because no one else is going to do it for us. If you are ready to start protecting your retirement savings through a tax-deferred gold IRA, see the links to the free guides in the video description. To attend a free gold education webinar held by Augusta Precious Metals, see the link in the video description. I will leave you with a customary quote from the famous hockey player Wayne Gretzky: "I skate to where the puck is going to be, not to where it has been." Thanks for watching.